Hello, my name is Nick Palmer. Company name Real Ideas, and I'm the inventor of a number of fishing products, but we're here today to show you the spring release pole support and the number of versatile setups for match anglers, pleasure anglers. There's the Clever Claw, upward pressure keeps it in place. Lower the pole or the rod handle and the Clever Claw releases instantly. It is using a V roller. And here it is on a bump bar. Some people call it a spray bar. And here it's being used with the pole across the legs. Mounted to the rear in conjunction with the bump bar, but the pole's not actually on your legs. And here's one of the two rod setups. As soon as I give the flick of the wrist, the claw's released and I'm into the fish. And here's another rod setup for river fishing. So I'll reach for the reel seat, a quick flick of the wrist, the claw release till you hit the bite. So you can lift the pole up, you can have a look if your bait's still on, drop the pole back in again, or you can lift into a bite. Miss the bite, you drop back down onto the rest again. This time I'm going to lift into the bite, the elastic comes out, so I've hooked the fish there, lean down with my hand, disengage the claw and put the pole back. But short bit of pole, you need to shorten the pivot point. I had the claw further back just now for longer pole or off the back leg, but short piece of pole, shorten the pivot point to keep the upward pressure so the claw will stay engaged. So there we are, the claw's set to the right height. Now I'm going to spin that big wheel that I call the hand wheel fully to the stop, not halfway, or the claw won't operate properly. There, that's fully back to the stop. That claw now is ready to release. So as I say, I can be firing bait, I can strike by just lifting my heel, which lifts the pole tip up in the air, back down again, I can fire a bit more bait. All of a sudden the pole swings round, I've hooked into a fish, just lean down with my arm, the claw's released, and back goes the pole. It's as easy as that. I'm now going to show you the clipping on technique we use when fishing on long pole. You can either use your right hand to turn the claw to engage it, or your left hand. It's your preference. Just set the claw up so that the pole's a couple of inches to the side so that the claw will go onto the pole easily. So I'm going to shift the pole out to the full 16 metres, turn the claw, engage it, then just let the pole come up. Now those teeth are firmly locked together until I want to release the claw. All I've got to do is lean down on the pole butt. There, and the claw's released. You can hold the pole down with your right arm, reach across with your left hand, turn, squeeze the claw together and just let the pole come up. There you are, you're totally hands-free. That's a full 16 metres of pole out there now. And I've no weight on my upper body whatsoever. There's no weight on my back or my arm. I've got my hands totally free. I could be flicking bait out with a catapult. To strike, I can just lift my heel, which lifts the tip of the pole, drop back in again, flick some more bait out. This time I lift into a bite, the elastic comes out. To release the claw, just lean down. There you are, you've got the pole back. Just ship the pole back. My little techniques, or tricks as I call it. If you were fishing across to a feature like an island and you were fishing a very short rig up in the water, say a foot deep, that sort of very short rig, when you offer the pole out, you can get a lot of pole bounce. So what I do, I engage the claw and then I can actually ship the pole out. You'll hear a click as it goes over this section there. I can ship the pole out now. Just slide it across my legs and that pole stays dead flat. If you just see the tip of the pole now, how flat that can stay. So you reduce the chance of getting tangles. I can ship the pole fully out now from under the claw. I'm sliding it out right across to that feature or the island, and there we are. That's a full 16 metre pole out. I also use a very similar technique when it's windy conditions. clip the claw on, there, let the pole come up, and then I can slide out, and in windy conditions you've got the pole underneath the claw and on your legs giving stability. Slide the pole out to its full length, like that, and then I can turn forwards, and I'll put my elbows on my knees, and I'm holding the pole with my hands there, and I can battle the wind much better like this. Still lift into the bite, miss the bite, drop back in again. This time I hit the bite, there, sit up, lean down, and put the pole back. It's as easy as that. I'm going to show you a technique for using long pole on a river with the Mark II Clever Claw. I can then offer the pole out with the claw on. I'm probably going to go just past the 14.5 metre section, and then I could slide out. I could go past the 13 metre section and still just keep sliding the pole out so the float goes down the river in line with your feed. Right, I'm going to clip on just after the 14.5 metre section, like so. Now as the float goes through, I can just slide the pole, just slowly turn. I'm going to slowly turn on my seat and just slide the pole out as I need to keep in line. Now I've probably travelled, I don't know, 15 metres already down the river. Turn on my box. That's nearly the full 16 metres out. If I hit a bite right at the end of the swim, lift into the bite, lean down with my elbow, and the claw releases. And here's one of the two rod setups that I use with the Mark II Clever Claw. You've got a short bracket coming off the front leg and a bit longer bracket with one of these method feeder rests on here to stop the rod pulling round. Ideal for method feeder fishing where you're going to get the ferocious take. Any type of tip feeder fishing, up in the water, waggler fishing, bagging waggler, that type of fishing where you need your hands free to flick bait out. I'll just cast this feeder across the river and you'll see me clip the claw on. I'm just going to flick that to the other side of the river. Put the rod on the rest, turn the claw, push it forward, it engages, and all that's holding that now is the upward pressure of the rod handle because the reel and the rod are both in front of the rest. If you get a take, like on method feeder, where that rod pulls right round, like so, there, that's holding on till I give a flick of the wrist. As soon as I give the flick of the wrist, the claw's released and I'm into the fish. And here's another rod use for the Mark II Clever Claw. It's a setup for when you want to get the rod tip high to keep the line out of the water on a flowing river. Ideal for chub, for hitting those little tap bites, or for barbel fishing where the rod can bend right over. That claw will hang on to the rod handle totally securely. It's all standard parts. Normal, long, extending bank stick. You've got a keep net bracket, a short piece of bank stick through this way with the claw on it, and I like to use one of these swing head rests.